Yeah, Candace Owens pulled up the Jubilee for that 20v1. One conservative versus 20 feminists, bruh. I'm here for the smoke. I'm here for the smoke. She was up here for a good hour and 40, but I'm going through the clips of 'em, the different sections of them, and just scrolling through, seeing what the topics of debate are, and some particular individuals look very familiar. So I'm just gonna focus my attention on two particular women. One of them is an OnlyFans model. I recognize her from prior like Jubilees or debates or whatnot. I think she was on Fresh and Fit too.
I think that's fair to say that the reason guys don't ask because it makes you look crazy, and a lot of women don't like that. That's true.
But they're going to go ahead and try to ascertain on their own what your body count is based on your behavior, the way that you act, your past, etc. They're going to go ahead and do their homework and figure out where you stand. Whether they overtly ask you or not, they're going to do their own independent investigation and figure out, okay, I want to commit to this girl, make her my girl. Let me make sure that she's not a Let me do the whole facts. Men absolutely have a stake in a woman's past. That's just the way it is.
If these women, if these are righteous women and these are righteous men, let's say they're both like whatever, I think it's totally fine to be like, hey, I value sexual purity. It's important to me to know if you also value that. How many men have you been with? Do you value
sexual purity is more important?
No, I'm saying the man should ask the woman this question. You're saying that, but you're saying they shouldn't because it affects their ability to get laid.
You just answered your own question.
If it's a woman, that he wants to settle down with, that's my question. If it's a woman that he wants to settle down with, and it's a woman that
are you for real?
Yeah, if it's a woman that he wants to settle down with, why would he not express that this is important to him?
Bro, you just took 2 hours, man.
I mean, okay. I mean, I would ask you a question. And you're saying if it's a woman he wants to settle down with.
You answered it.
What? Because he won't get laid? But if it's a woman he wants to settle down with, and it's a woman that he believes shares her values, like she's a virgin, right? I think if a guy went on a date with you and they're like, hey, Shut up! No. I don't even know who said that.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Very well spoken, articulate woman. She was an attorney and then let go of that attorney job to go pop some titties on OnlyFans, bro. So I'm here for that, bro. I'm here for that. And then Princella, the Queen Maker. Remember her?
When I'm saying that men do not value women just because women are women and who they are as whole individuals. Y'all value women based on what you can use them for.
So you don't think it's the same for a woman? How they look at men?
Well, here's the thing. Women do not pursue men. Women do not pursue y'all unless you have something.
That's what I'm saying. So you take a man like me that has a lot of things.
Right.
And women will pursue me.
Right. And guess what? They see your necklace, right? It's not because they see you. It's because they.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. My point.
No. Here's what I'm saying. Right. Women are not attracted to masculine energy. They're attracted to feminine energy.
Y'all remember her, Princella the Queen Maker? I definitely got to see these two. Goddamn, go at it. So let's get it, man. Make masculinity great again. Already, man. Let's go. Let's fucking go. No, before we go, I have a self-development online community, bro. It's dope. Getting peeps ready physically, mentally, financially, all that, man. You feel me? Pull up, link, description box. Link is right there too, man. You know what I mean? It's dope vibes, bro. Dope vibes. Trust me. Pull up. All right. Without further ado, let's get it.
All right. Jasmine, nice to meet you. Okay, so you say that women are more fulfilled at home with kids than going out into the workforce or getting educated, but that just really doesn't bear out when you look at the stats, when you look at how working mothers are way less likely to be in poverty. Maternal education is the #1 predictor of childhood outcomes, better scores, getting higher incomes in the future, fewer behavioral problems, better mental health. So it's weird to me and college-educated women are least likely to get divorced, and they're the only women, the top 10% of women are the only women whose marriage rates are going up. So they're getting married, they're staying married, and their kids are doing better. When you look at stay-at-home mothers, you see that they're more likely to report being depressed, they're more likely to report having anxiety and anger and all these types of things. So how can you say that? Seems like a woman, if you want to get married and have kids, you should go to college and have a career.
So it sounds...
What does any of that have to do with the prompt? The prompt says no career will give women as much joy and fulfillment as raising children. It's an either or. She's comparing the level of fulfillment between two things. She ain't saying women shouldn't work. And she ain't saying women should stay at home either. Bro, she's just saying women gonna rock with the damn family more than they rock with the job. She gonna get much more fulfillment out of taking care of them babies as opposed to clocking it in, bro. What the fuck? What the fuck? What you talking about, bro? Generally speaking, dog. Generally speaking, you poll 1,000 women, bro. The vast majority, 95% of them women, if they have kids, are gonna have much more fulfillment from mothering them kids, taking care of them kids, making sure them kids right, as opposed to whatever the fucking job they got. And women that are pick their job over their kids are probably like, you know, some Candace Owens types or some like people, women that actually out here doing something. You feel me? Because most women just work. They got 9 to 5s, dog. And we're gonna sit there and act like all women got these fantastic careers that they just love and love going. Motherfuckers hate working. Motherfuckers work because they got to fucking work, bruh. And women that are all brainwashed to this whole idea that they have to fucking work. As soon as they take their ass to fucking work and are goddamn slaves to the fucking check, they gonna be wishing the motherfucker would come stay their ass and allow them to stay at home and fucking take care of them kids, bro. We're talking about a small minority of women that enjoy going to work because their work is not work for them, right? A career. Their career is infused with their identity. The majority of women are just working for somebody, collecting a fucking check, and you ask them, you rather do this or be at the crib, taking care of, making sure your kids is good. Especially in today's age, bro. 99% of the women gonna say, hey, let me go with the kids. Bruh. And then if you ask like the super duper successful women out here that got kids, dog, the majority of them are still gonna pick their kids over whatever the fucking job they got. Bruh, it's just these delulu, brainwashed hoes that are advocating for this shit, or motherfuckers just don't know better. Of course, women out here that ain't got no kids gonna be having all types of shit to say, but wait until they fart some fucking kids out and watch them neurons fire off and they damn brain shift and they look at the fucking world entirely different because all they give a fuck about is them kids. It is what it is, bro.
When you look at stay-at-home mothers, you see that they're more likely to report being depressed. They're more likely to report having anxiety and anger and all these types of things. So how can you say that? Seems like a woman.
I need to see the stats on that. Stay-at-home mothers are depressed because they bored. Remember they getting abused or some shit. It's more to that story, man. One may not have to do with the other. I don't know that fucking stat, but I mean, if a woman has the luxury of staying at home and have to pay for shit, right, and she's depressed, there's something else going on, right? Maybe their man is a fucking bully with the money. Maybe the man is fucking abusive. They ain't finna be depressed because they fucking bored. Just find something to goddamn do. The fuck? Hold on, I need to look at the stats, bro. Let me look at the stats. While it's often assumed that stay-at-home mothers experience higher rates of depression, research provides a more nuanced picture. Studies suggest that while some stay-at-home mothers may experience increased social isolation and feelings of confinement contributing to depression, others find fulfillment in their role and do not experience negative mental health outcomes. Conversely, working mothers may experience stress. Yeah, come on. I mean, this is just one. This is what ChatGPT talking about, man, but I mean, just because you stay in a home, that just means you ain't working. You can still do things for fun, have hobbies that you can get a kick out of, bro. But who the fuck want to work, bro? That's the lick. That's how they got them. The government got your ass. You want to work? Yeah. You want to work? You want to work, bitch? You want to give Uncle Sam all that money, huh? You know what I'm saying? All that OnlyFans money. Run me my check. Go ahead and pop that ass. Give me that motherfucking check. Fuck them kids. Don't have no kids. Keep pumping that goddamn birth control. You know what I'm talking about? Just keep swallowing them kids or whatnot on camera and shit. You know what I'm saying? Run me my money. Right? Run me my money. Capital gains, bitch. Buy all the shit you want. Run me my check.
You want to get married and have kids, you should go to college and have a career.
So it sounds to me like we are looking at totally different statistics, because everything that you said, I've actually read the exact opposite.
I'm glad we're on a fact check show with you.
Right, exactly.
Oh, it's so exciting.
That's going to be amazing. Okay, because I
Yes,
know, like I said, I think
Smoke.
what we're talking about is that there was this widespread report on female happiness, and I know that it was formally debunked, and it was
That's not what I'm talking about. Pew Research,
Right,
University of
okay.
California. In fact, working mothers today spend more time with their children than women did in the 1960s that were at home.
What if they at home? What the fuck else was they doing? If the stay-at-home mamas was at home with the kids, and they wasn't with the kids, then what the fuck was they doing? How does that even make sense? You know what I'm saying? Like, the mama got to work, so that's what, 8 hours out the day that she not gonna be around. You know what I'm saying? Especially in like the early age development, like, you know what I'm saying, pre-K and kindergarten and all that shit. That didn't make no sense. All right.
I can tell you women that are at home are obviously spending more time with their children than the people who are at work.
And their
Right.
children are not faring off any better, and they're faring off worse.
How are you measuring their children faring off worse?
How likely they are to higher incomes, better scores, fewer health problems, fewer behavioral issues, and better mental.
So the just to get back to the claim that I'm making here is that it is obvious that women who have children are going to be more fulfilled.
How is
right?
that obvious? Because you said so?
No, it's not obvious because I said so. It's
ain't got
because
no
when you
damn
look at all
kids.
the statistics in terms of women who are choosing not to have families, they are, as the person who just sat here before you mentioned, they are suffering from more depression. They're suffering from more anxiety. And
That's not true.
okay, it is true. It is actually true that women who are
Recent data on this topic is scarce, but CDC's data show that from 2015 to 2018, women were more than twice as likely to take antidepressants than men, and antidepressants use was more common amongst those with college degrees. Regarding this conversation, bro, we're not going to see the effects of this until all these whores get old. Right. You got a couple of them now, you know what I'm saying? The ones that was in the like who was, their generation was where the feminist movement was birthed, right? You know what I'm saying? They get aged out now. A lot of them hoes was like, you know, a lot of them goddamn sexually free, liberated schlores was busting open. They got shit to show for it and wish they had a fucking family. This is what the fuck you talking about, bro. Like, fulfillment, dog, we talking about your life. What do you have to say for your life when everything's all said and done? That you made a bag and you sucked and fucked as many tips as you wanted to? Right, that's what we talking about. Right, when you get to pushing late 30s, 40s, mid 40s, 50s, yeah, you bossed up, you independent or whatnot, bro, but you ain't got no man, you ain't got no kids. Ain't nobody gonna fuck with you now. Right? We social creatures, and for women to be trying to battle this shit, go against it, bro, it's like you stuck on stupid, bro. With as required it is for women to tap into their maternal instinct and have them kids and want to be safe and fended for by a man and had a family and all that shit gonna come up and bite. That's the wall, bro. That's the wall. And the wall is undefeated. The wall is undefeated, bro. There's gonna be a lot more of these banging their head up against that goddamn wall. And then Candace and everybody else gonna be playing, told you so. Told you so. You sucked one dick too many, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? You should that dick you sucked fucking 20 dicks ago should have been the last dick you sucked, and you should have stayed with that fucking dick and you'd been good. Bruh, that's one of the craziest tricks in the book, dog, to pimp women into wanting to work. Right? And then to pimp women into wanting to be whores. Right? And then pimp women into wanting to fucking just drink birth control. Right? And pimp women into wanting to just kill babies left and right, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Dog, it is, bro, it's hunting season for like top G's out here, bro. These hoes do not stand a chance. Right now. Woo. Yeah, bro, this is crazy work. It's crazy work. This conversation never gets old, dog. Come on, Candace, get in her shit, bro. She ain't talking about nothing. She ain't talking about nothing, bro. She ain't talking about nothing. The fuck? Yeah, you need a damn degree nowadays, bro. I mean, you ain't need no degree, but yeah, you needed a fucking degree nowadays to fucking get a job and work and shit. But that ain't the fucking point. The point is y'all stuck on stupid. Y'all stuck wanting to work as opposed to wanting to get a family up and running.
For more anxiety, and
that's not true.
Okay, it is true. It is actually true that women who are choosing their careers over starting families are finding themselves leaning more onto medicines like Xanax, anxiety-inducing medicines, and depression because they suspended that time frame where women really should be looking to find a partner and to start a family because they were instead pursuing their careers.
And why are they better off?
It is a dishonest, it is totally a dishonest narrative that men and women want the same things out of life. We don't. We absolutely do not want the same things out of life. In fact, we don't even measure success.
Bro, he look like a lesbian.
It is a dishonest, it is totally a dishonest narrative that men and women want the same things out of life. We don't. We absolutely do not want the same things out of life. In fact,
he look like a male feminist, huh? That should be the picture next to male feminist in the dictionary, bro. He look like a lesbo.
We don't even measure success the same.
At all.
Men and women don't even measure success the same.
At all.
So, but tell me how the women who are working and getting educated, why are they faring off better in all of these?
I am telling you that I do not believe they are faring off better in all of these measures.
Because of what?
I am telling you that we are looking at.
But even if we entertain her argument, which is bogus, that these women are faring off better. Like, it's irrelevant, bro. It has nothing to do with the fucking prompt, right? What she's talking about is irrelevant to how important it is for women to become mothers. Bro, it's what the fuck you was put on this earth to do. You're going against fucking nature, regardless of how much you lie to yourself. Of course, an educated person is going to fare better than an uneducated person, more times than not. You feel me? Especially in 2025. She not. I don't know. I haven't seen the entire video, man. But I would not suspect Candace to be out here advocating for all women to be stay-at-home mothers. It would be impossible to do so, given the status of the economy, right? But we're talking about becoming educated. All you tapped out as a high school. You're talking about being educated. All you got is a high school education. You're going to run into some fucking obstacles, right? So it's better to fucking prepare you. You know what I'm saying? But college is not the argument. It's the brainwashed, delusional obsession that women have with pursuing careers as opposed to getting a man to sit down with them. That's all it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? Fast forward it to, and people don't think about it like this though. But fast forward it to when you're getting older. When you get older, much less is important, and the most important things are the only important things, bro. And you think whatever accolades and accomplishments these women have are going to shit on the influence that they had raising generations of children up, bro. I'm telling you poll the most successful of women out here, bro. They're gonna, and if they have kids, they picking them kids all day, every fucking day. You know what I mean? You ask fucking the fellas too, shit. They picking them kids. That's why men will break their fucking back to make sure they women and their family good. That's just the roles, bro. Women are the nurturers, the maternal ones for the babies and shit, and the dudes break their back making sure there's a house, a roof over their head, food in their stomach, and clothes on their back. Bro, be going against fucking nature, dog. It is what it is.
Totally opposite statistics. Like, so you're sitting here telling me that the statistics show that women who are working are producing better children, but I am saying that women that grow up in a two-family home where the mother stays at home are faring off better than the children who are being raised in an environment
where the women are working,
where both of the parents are working away from the home.
Your kids are going to fare off much better with mama at home as opposed to sending them kids in motherfucking daycare, preschool or whatever, dog. That's a necessity. Parents have to send their kids there because they have to fucking work, right? Especially that early on in the child's life. You think, how difficult do you think it is for most mothers to tear themselves away from them kids? You think they want to do that? Fuck no. They got to do it. If they had a choice, they would stay with the motherfucking kids, but they can't stay with them. They got to fucking work. That's why they got that goddamn degree, thinking they gotta fucking work. So it's all a game.
Home where the mother stays at home are faring off better than the children who are being raised in an environment
where the women are
working,
working,
where both of the parents are
why don't
working
you
away
stay
from
home?
the home. I do get to work from home.
No, but
that's the irony. That's
I've
why
watched your show. You talk about all the nannies you hire, and it's so hard to find a good nanny.
I talked about all of the nannies I
Yeah, you have.
She lost now. I mean, she been lost. She been talking on her ass the whole fucking time. Ain't nothing she said been relevant to the prompt, but now she's trying to attack Candace personally. And once that's a wrap, then you cooked. You ain't got nothing else to go off of. She's took all your weapons. So you gonna attack her? Why don't you stay home? Bitch, I do stay home, motherfucker. Fuck you mean? What's wrong? Bitch. You got kids, hoe? Can you have kids? Your shit still work? Bitch. She said that to you. I'm telling you, you got kids on your face. You wash your shit off yet?
I spoke about how difficult it was to find a babysitter who knew how to cook a meal, and that's because
Bro, she tight, dog. She don't like Candace, bro. She don't like Candace. She don't like people that are anti-whore. She would hate me. Whore.
I spoke about how difficult it was to find a babysitter who knew how to cook a meal, and that's because
you don't need a babysitter. You're already you could retire right
now. You have to let people respond to you when they're speaking.
You don't want to.
To respond to you when
no,
I
you
speak?
don't want to. You want to be working, which is great.
You're telling me what I want now, and then accusing me of telling you.
Wait, you don't want to work?
Can you just let me finish? Because you've said so many words that what you're trying to do here, like your argument style, is I'm going to say so much and not let her get a word in, and then walk away and feel like I've won.
No, she getting cooked. She getting cooked. She doing some attorney shit. She getting cooked and trying to distract everybody with this bullshit. But she reaching out. She don't have a leg to stand on. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try to attack her personally because I ain't got no more left. Fuck out of here, clown.
A conversation because you've not letting me respond to one of your points. Okay. What I am saying to you, first to answer what you just said, which was a lie, what I spoke to you about on the weekends is that it's been increasingly difficult to find a 25-year-old who even knows how to make boxed macaroni and cheese, right? And that's crazy. That is in large part due to feminism. Women don't even focus. Like there's this idea that women shouldn't be cooking. Like there's something fundamentally wrong with women even learning how to cook.
Are you
know what I
spending
mean?
as much time with your children as you possibly can? Because that's the way to get the most fulfillment.
No, and that's what I'm trying to say. I am speaking to you.
That ain't what she said, though. She did not say that, though, bro. All right. Let me let this shit ride. I'm letting this whore irritate me.
It's crazy. That is in large part due to feminism. Women don't even focus. Like there's this
though, bro. That's a spade, dog. These young little girls can't cook, bro. They can't though, bro. They don't need to. I'm a woman. I don't need to cook. I can get a man to cook. Or I can hire a cook. You can't. You broke. But like that's a spade, bro. Like that's a valid point. And they laughing because them hoes can't cook.
There's this idea that women shouldn't be cooking. Like there's something fundamentally wrong with women even learning how to cook.
Are you
know what I mean?
spending as much time with your children as you possibly can? Because that's the way to get the most fulfillment.
No, and that's what I'm trying to say. I am speaking to you
as. Then stop.
Okay, could you please let somebody get in
I
a
did.
word edgewise?
I let you finish.
You're not. You actually have not let anybody finish. And like I said, it's no one benefits when you're just speaking over me and not allowing me to respond. All you're proving is that you have an attitude and you believe in feminism, but you're not. That's what I'm saying. You just have an attitude, and it's not. It's performative.
I'm actually addressing my point. I will be quiet if you address my point.
Does anybody actually feel here that I am being allowed to address any of her points when she just keeps running over me?
Yeah,
I'm literally trying to answer your first point of you saying that I don't stay at home. Fair point. Really weird. Fair point. Obviously, I get that you're all anti-Candace and pro-feminist, but also it's not productive if you're not actually.
Okay, address the point. You spend more time saying that I'm not addressing, that you don't have a chance to talk. I mean, the whole time you could have addressed the point. Okay. You could have talked.
I
go for it.
Just want you to know that you're not coming across as somebody who wants to actually have a conversation. So to get back to the claim, because I don't even know where you're at. You're now talking. You're saying that I said stuff in my podcast.
I'll go wherever you want to go.
I never said.
I'll go wherever.
So do you want to start with me working at home? Because I work at home. You just said something about me working at home.
You travel all around the world.
Okay,
you do speeches, and I love that. I love how ambitious you are. That's a really great trait. And if you were truly said that, you would be more fulfilled. Now, one thing you do find is women, they don't want to stay at home when you pull them. They just want flexible working hours and flexible working conditions like you have. And I think we should all advocate for that. It's not one or the other. But when you sit here and you go,
definitely is one or the other, though. Because the life Candace has is an anomaly. She's not the norm. She makes a lot of money. She can take off as much time as she wants to. She can do whatever the fuck she wants to. She's Neo with her shit. She even got a man that has more money than her, so then she ain't even gotta fucking work. But she ain't just working. She's one of these where her identity is infused in her career, bro. She's an exception to the rule. And this is what women get confused with. They get misled by the feminist movement, college education, and aspiring to be Superman. It's not the fucking norm. And nor is this bitch the fucking norm. She's more the norm than Candace is. You know what I mean? Because she a hoe. But, you know what I'm saying? She's not going to be able to find nobody to wipe her ass up and put some babies in her. I mean, yeah, she will. It's cap. It's cap, bro. Because bros is down bad. Bros are down bad, dog. Bros are down bad. But pull up to my fucking community, dog. I'm sick of that shit. But yeah, she's an anomaly, bro. This is not, Candace isn't real life. She has the flexibility that women want to have, but unfortunately, women have to choose. More times than not, you have to choose, right? Choose what type of path you want to go, or just be conscious of the probabilities of certain things happening at certain times, right? You let 25, 27, 29, 31, 33 go, pursuing a fucking career. Now you want to settle down and have kids and shit. Well, tough titty, bitch. You know what I mean? You'll be more receptive to it, bro. Because you're not gonna find Prince Charming every motherfucking where you look. You're only gonna come across a couple of Prince Charmers throughout your fucking lifetime. So you better, find the right one and stick to it, try to make it work, and become as self-aware as you can. So you can have as close of two worlds at once as possible. Like you can have your man while you're seeking higher education and go through all that together, right? That is a thing, but most women, or these women out here, not looking for bro. They trying to, reach the highest of heights, and they just shit on potential significant others early on in their fucking lifetime and hope they're gonna find that man down the road. And that shit don't fucking happen. The older you get, the harder it is to find somebody, especially as much as you change getting older, bro. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Can't teach a bitch tricks. But yeah, man. Whew. Let's continue.
Go, you'll be more fulfilled doing this and spend all your time doing that. We would love for you to leave the public eye and go focus on what makes you fulfilled.
Okay.
We disrespectful, man. The optics of a whore sitting there trying to tell Candace how it is tells you everything you need to know about society today. It's fucking ass backwards, bro. These motherfuckers shouldn't even be in the same room talking to the same people, breathing the same air, bro. You feel me? All right, this is what I'm here for. We 30 minutes in though, bro. I want to see Princella, Princella the Queen Maker, and Candace Owens. What's the prompt now? We live under a matriarchy, not a patriarchy.
Hi, hello.
Nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Princella, the Queen Maker.
Love that.
So you say we live in a matriarchy.
Right.
Can you give me the definition of patriarchy?
Yes. Well, the patriarchy is the idea that the system, our system in America, is being run by men, and that women are having to exist under a system that immediately disadvantages them because men are behind it. And I disagree with that pointedly. I think actually we're living in a society where people are being very much influenced socially and politically by women.
Okay, so the denotative definition of patriarchy is father rule, and where...
The fuck does denotative mean? Let me listen to this bullshit she finna say first. But what the fuck does denotative mean, and why does it even fucking matter? What Candace just said is what the majority of people believe patriarchy to mean. So that's what the fuck it means. Men run everything and women are oppressed, The fuck?
Denotative definition of patriarchy is father rule, and where positions of government are held majorly by men, where women are largely excluded. So 125 House of Representatives are.
All right, she talking on her ass. What the fuck? Let me see what denotative means. Denotative meaning of a word is its literal dictionary definition devoid of any emotional or cultural context. Yeah, so it don't fucking matter, bro, because the emotional definition, what society believes patriarchy to mean when they bring up patriarchy in debates and conversation, is exactly what the fuck Candace just said. And then even with what the fuck Prince Teller just said, men make up all this government positions, bro. It's because women don't want to do it. They can do it now. And they got a herd of women out here that will put them in position, bro, but they don't want to do it. I mean, even though you got an influx of women that want to take more masculine positions, male roles or whatnot, it still ain't enough, bro. And then dealing with dudes all fucking day, because the dudes ain't going nowhere. They're not going nowhere, which means you got to work that much harder. This is like, this is semantics, bro. Get the fuck out of there with this semantics bullshit. You know what the fuck she meant by patriarchy.
Female, and that's only about 25%.
Right.
And only about 28% make up Senate, and 3.3% of Congress up until this date have ever been women. So by denotative definition, we literally live in a patriarchy.
Yes, so I disagree with that. So I think what this gets to, which is actually an important part of the conversation, is that people always think that where there is disparity, there's somehow inequality, and I actually reject that entirely. I think it's just a difference in what we're interested in. I think we're biologically wired, we're interested in different careers, and just because if we looked in the fashion industry and said, oh, well, it's being dominated by women, it wouldn't mean that, okay, well, that means that the fashion industry is a matriarchy and men have no sense. It just means have no ability to communicate how they feel in the fashion industry. I literally think that those numbers show that we're just biologically different. So I actually think politically, women have shown that they have a lot more power than men have. And I'm talking about just in terms of political movements. The most recent I can think of is the Me Too movement, right? If a bunch of women get together and complain about a man and refer to the patriarchy and scream, generally speaking, let me know if you agree, the media will celebrate that. If a bunch of men got together and were shrieking and speaking about women, generally speaking, the media would call them all white supremacists and say that we had a misogyny problem and that things were really wrong in society. Women are allowed to be more vocal in general about problems than men are.
Well, let me speak to that. When we're talking about government and media, these are two different things. So under the denotative definition of a patriarchy, by the percentages that are occupied in the government, which is majority male, defines us as a patriarchy. Now, when it comes to for capitalism, for marketing purposes and control, for capital and revenue, that is a totally different conversation.
And that's what rules all, motherfucker, the money. The money. Bitch. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we're still in the patriarchy, dog. 'Cause even with that, even with capitalism and the media and marketing and all that, bro, it's all just a front. It's a front. It's a mask. The patriarchy uses women to get paid. Point blank. Period. They don't. The motherfuckers that juicing us for all the bread don't give a fuck about what the minions is doing. As long as they getting their bag, dog. It's the men manipulating all this shit. The elite, they're manipulating all this shit, which is relevant to the conversation, because all this shit is at the end of the day is trying to bring awareness to everybody to take control over their fucking life and place themselves in the best positions and not get played. You know what I mean? Not get played, bro. Don't be a pawn. Don't be controlled. Don't be fucking used. You know what I'm saying? And feminists have been used. Their emotion has been hijacked and used against them to be out here defending their demise. You know what I mean?
but who's making the laws? I don't think that women are the ones voting to have their reproductive rights taken away, where you have rape, incest, and all of these things excluded to force women to be able to have. I don't think women in government would largely vote against their own interests because it's majority male. Patriarchy.
Okay, I think love that point. Are women allowed to vote?
Oh, of course they are.
Who's voting that patriarchy and then out of curiosity?
No, I totally agree. And you want to know why? Because there are so many women who think like you. You submit to the idea of men ruling everything. And your ideology is spread across a lot of women who also falsely believe to vote against their own interests just to complain about it in the end. You know, earlier you said that, women would be much more happier working at home, but don't you agree that it's human nature to want things that you don't have? Mm-hmm. So during the 1950s, which is something that you constantly bring up, it wasn't until 1994 that it was illegal to beat your wife. And so what we're dealing with is people wanting something, and then when they get it, they're not happy with it, and then they have to revoke that idea for something else. And so what you're saying is that women vote for these things because they have the same mentality as you.
Okay, so you're acknowledging that women have the freedom to vote.
Yes.
And you're saying that women are still existing mentally, even with the freedom to vote.
Correct.
They are voting men in because we are still victims of...
No, I don't believe in victimhood. I believe in lack of education and lack of knowledge, because one of the things that you also say...
Do you think that it could just be that more men are running for positions of office?
No, not necessarily, because remember, the United States, the average reading comprehension of people in the United States is 6th grade. So we're not dealing with educated people. Lack of education is the cause for what we see in the world. And if we educate the women better, because a nation can rise no higher than its woman. And if she reading and comprehending at a 6th grade level and popping out a lot of kids, because the brokest people in the world pop out the most kids. So if we have those people voting, of course they're going to vote against their interests, because they're voting for some utopian society that will never exist.
Okay, so that's why you think Kamala lost.
Mm-hmm. This ain't even about Kamala.
Well, because you're talking about women. No, but we had an opportunity.
Yeah, go ahead.
We had a male running and we had a female running. And we actually showed that Trump increased the amount of women who voted for him, right? So I'm asking you, do you believe that the reason that happened was because women became less educated during that time?
They've always been less educated. Did you know that UNESCO says that that 2/3 of the 7.7 million illiterate adults is women? Illiterate. And we have 6th grade educated people voting. And guess who? Guess the dominant population is white women. And so guess what? Now you have to add a race element into that, which you already know exists. Because we, as black folks, we ain't the dominant people voting people in. Okay, so now when we have to go into white supremacy and feminism, now you have to look at the mind of the people who actually have economic success and what they're voting for, because classism actually matters as well. So I'm sorry, but a lot of people...
She all over the motherfucking place. First she said all women are stupid for putting these men into office, right? Everybody is on a 6th grade education or reading level. 2/3 of the illiterate population is women, right? So then Candace said, so you think women just voted them in because they stupid? She said, no, well, they white. So they stupid and they white. So it's just it's stupid white women that put men in the power. And then at the same time, like, the white women be the most liberal, the liberal feminists out this bitch be the white women. Bruh, hey, she all over the goddamn place, boy. I thought she was gonna make a more valid argument than this, bro. Like, Candace punching all through this shit. Bruh, hey, she a misogynist, bro. She just said women are stupid. That's it. It's a patriarchy. Women put men in power because they too stupid and don't know no better. That's all I'm hearing.
for, because classism actually matters as well. So I'm sorry, but a lot of people vote based on their feelings and not based on policy.
Pause, guys.
Yes.
Sorry, you've been voted out by the majority. Please return to the
Thank you for the respectful
She said,
conversation.
I'm so confused. All right, man. I'm done with this shit.